Hello, and welcome back to episode 4 of the Dungeon Exploration and Server Tour series. Kind of in a special spot here in Lemon Town, and I'm also trying out to record with headphones on, so it sounds a little bit weirder for me talking with headphones in, but hopefully this will reduce background noise and should make the recording come out a little bit better. This is the Ruddy Buddy Sky Shack, and actually a pretty cool place at the top of the ceiling of Lemon Town, and it can be yours for only 400 FE. There are a couple of other plots then around here as well that are still for sale. This is Secret. Oh, it's probably too dark to see. Frost Town. Do I have any torches? He probably actually has. This is Polar Nick's little spot here. I'm wondering if I put a torch in there, if it might melt ice, or if that's packed ice. I wanted to go around Lemon Town here. The Loy texture is loading in this time. Show you that. And just check out a couple of other quick things first before we head out to the third dungeon that we're going to check out on the server tour, dungeon tour. This is Bobby. This is like a little kind of combat arena that we have here, and a cool little hot tub with King Pig presiding over it. But there's, as you can see, there's like a whole nother underground part of Lemon Town here. There's a bunch of other interesting little places here where you can get splash potions. So these aren't actually splash potions. How much are they selling for? I'll buy one of these. You can see I'm a little bit more prepared now. Maybe that was actually just a splash potion of healing. I'm pretty sure some of these, though, are some more interesting stuff. Although it's possible. Oh, and we can also buy a chocolate muffin and melon then as well. I'm starting out great on this episode here. I was thinking that those might be some of the brews, the alcohol then that I was mentioning in the last episode, but it's also possible that there's a plug-in mix-up then, that when you try to set them up as a shop, that they don't quite retain their initial abilities. So this is a scary place. Let's not go in there again. There's also a bakery, and so there's, this is a very large, more in-depth town than would initially appear due to this underground area. You can buy these little kind of apartment condos then here as well. I don't know, maybe this isn't quite the best living environment, but it's nice inside at least. Pretty cool. So let's go back out of this underground area though, and let's make our way to, this is our notice board. Some of the stuff's a little bit outdated. We have a public mine, public nether portal there as well, and it's pretty close to the nether fortress then, so if you're looking to get some head start on blaze rods and stuff like that, pretty easy to make your way there. So where we're going to be going though, the way that we're going to get to this dungeon is through this dragon travel that Melon set up, and we're going to be going not to those places but to this darkness. Woo! I should fix that sign, make it a little better. This is actually, can I modify? Okay, I think I have access to change these things. Melon set up all these travel points here, but this is going to be a long trip. So we're going to pay the 100 FE and make our way over there. I might actually cut the video just because of the actual length. It's maybe around about a minute or so. Kind of riding on top of the dragon here. This is something that Melon had always wanted to have on his server. We're flying past a couple of these other dungeons, but I had pointed them out previously. But always wanted a way of quick travel besides the travel tickets, which I don't have on me. But just, you know, as a way to ride on a dragon, which is admittedly pretty cool. But because this trip, actually I guess it's not that far, I can just talk about it here a little bit more while we make our way over there. Because there's a specific reason why this third dungeon location had to be out as far as it is. Most of them are otherwise within, you know, a couple of thousand blocks of the main spawn area. We didn't want to make them, you know, too far out, because otherwise no one would ever come across them. But this one particularly did have to be in a certain spot. You will probably be able to tell why as soon as we come across it. Let me think. I had meant to mention it at some point. The water. There it is, just in time. I'm actually running pretty low on water. You can drink water out of glass bottles to refill that. And you can also, as I think I've done a couple of times, just jump, you know, in a 2-high block of water source blocks, and that will also refill your water meter. It's essentially like an immersion plug-in in the same vein as your standard food health bar. They're saying, you know, okay, you should probably have to drink something too. And yeah, you'll see the where my food bar in case you're wondering about it as we come across this interesting structure. That's replaced by this other weird health gauge while we're riding the dragon, but it's back to normal here. And wow, we fell down a little bit. But yes, this is interesting. Not really much info as to what's really going on here. Oh, this is has some other interesting things here. Okay, so these are some of the other travel tickets then. And I had made, these are the coordinates, by the way, of this darkness dungeon if you want to, you know, if you're poor, I suppose, don't have the extra FE, and just want to walk all your way out here. Gonna try to refill my water. But what was I saying? So yeah, got the water filled up and checking out this interesting structure. Not really much we can do about it here, but there's a glowstone block in the center here, and these interesting kind of spires jutting up here. So let's try pushing the button, and nothing happens. Torch goes off, and as you can hear, there seems to be something else going on. But still nothing happening. But if I push this fourth one, aha! Now we have something going on. And some exposed redstone, awesome. But an arrow pointing down. It's a one-way dungeon. I cannot sleep during the day. I had set my spawn point already, so I should be good. I got some stronger armor now. And my frog legs and webbed feet. Let's get some ender pearls on the bar. I have an enchanted sword. It's not that great, but we should be good. Some splash potion of strength, because this is going to be difficult. But let's go. So we're in the end, and I'm low on food. But this is not your standard dungeon, I suppose. as I noted when I put those signs up, this is a one-way setup. If we jump back into the main portal here in the end, we're going to end up back in spawn, or I suppose at the last bed that we slept in, yeah. But we won't be able to get back to that entrance, but that's fine. The actual dungeon, let me go back, because you might be kind of lost, like, well, okay, this is just a quick way to get to the end, you know, but, which it is. But if you see these arrows then as well, as you noticed when we first jumped down the hole, let's just try following them. So up and to the left. This is kind of more of an advanced feature, I guess, of the main vanilla game, even. But when you defeat, okay, awesome. When you defeat the Ender Dragon for the first time, you will generate one of these portals to the outer end rings. This is going to be really annoying. I'm going to try to not look at any of these guys again in the future, which might be difficult. But essentially what I did for this third dungeon location here is I set up the entire end island then as a dungeon. I also had a pretty cool little setup here where if you need, because you need ender pearls to then travel through these outer end portals. Made a little sign there, dark light dungeon. But in case someone, you know, was in the end and didn't have ender pearls, have a quick little infinite setup spawner there so you can get a whole bunch. And now let's begin. So, this is one of the larger setups. Let's see, the first thing that you might notice then is this building is highlighted and we're being attacked here by these little guys. Hopefully it's bright enough. Wow, okay. Was not expecting that. These are, what are these guys again? Not endermites. I definitely forgot the name of that. There's going to be a lot going on here. Let's see if I can try to name it. There's some things that are invisible that are attacking me, and my inventory is full. And, oh boy. Okay, wood, don't need. I want to get this, because I don't know what it is. Other stuff I don't need. Okay, bear's hoe and trapping shears, awesome. There's going to be some invisible guys. Then I equipped, oh no, that's Enderman. Hello there, friend. So I equipped these spectral arrows, as they are very handy to have here in this dungeon. Oh, and I might die. Because there's a lot of invisible guys. This is fun. But as you saw that first time when we first got here, there's like a large row of enemies that were spawned, and then also invisibility potions that also spawned. But interestingly enough, it's actually not the invisible mobs that are giving us issues, it's these endermen that I really need to make a note of to stop looking at them, because they're quite annoying to deal with, unless I want to put like a pumpkin on my head or something, which I really don't. So he's over there. Let's see if we can try to read these signs. There are secret chests hidden around the city. Take this bow and arrows, head to Lighthouse. Do the unthinkable, see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. Okay, so these ones I haven't actually opened yet since I set them up, because I kind of wanted to show these very interesting items that we get here at the start of the dungeon. So this is the Lightbringer. This is a bow with infinity. I don't think you gotta take this arrow though too. Don't forget it. So this is a spectral arrow, and essentially what I was trying to do here is show you that you can craft spectral arrows then in this manner with the glowstone dust. My inventory is really full. I think I was making a note in the last episode how inventory management is one of the biggest things about these dungeons. And here I am going into a dungeon with essentially a full inventory. In case you forgot it, the other times, here you go. Here's another spectral arrow, so that's the treasure. Now, of course, since that was my first time then, quote-unquote, opening these chests, besides when I set them up, you know, that's why I can open them up, but then now, if I open it again, you know, I've already looted this treasure, so everything has disappeared. Back to these buildings. So you'll see that some of them actually have beacon lights around them, while others do not yet at the moment. Let's kind of just explore around here though. It looks like, so they do actually have beacon lights, but they're just black lights coming up. There's some interesting things then in some of these other treasure chests around in this area. We're not going to check them all out, but you might be able to see some of the other ones there. Oh, and some exposed redstone. Oh no. I'll come back and fix that in a little bit. But yeah, this area is actually based off of, if any of you have played the new Pokemon games, the Ultra Megalopolis from those games, where essentially there wasn't that much going on in it, but there's very, very strong boss Pokemon at the end. But there's a lot kind of going on behind the scenes here. You'll see these lights going down this main tower. Not all of them though. And other things are going to be starting to spawn. So let's get inside here. This area of relative safety inside this main tower. As I said, relative safety. Some other guys might try to follow you inside here, so it's not completely safe. But please place Star of Light here to claim your reward. Interesting. I don't really have anything quite like that, but then there's also a lift going up. So let's check this out. Okay, arena floor. So this is then at the top of the tower. Very, very high up. Looks like we got some more glowstone here. Do not need dirt. But this stardust. And a lot of it, wow. Okay. And what else do we have here? Do not push this. Okay, we will take the advice for now. This is interesting setup. Looks like we're getting even more stardust. Let's see, is that... Here's kind of the idea. When you arrive in that upper floor, you see all this stardust, and you're trying to think, is that what it means by Star of Light? Not quite. Though you can use, if you so wish, the stardust, same thing as glowstone dust, if you wish to make some more spectral arrows. But, and I think I got even more arrows from that. But no, that's not quite what it means by Star of Light. If we want to see what it means by that, we are going to have to push that button. And I'm slightly hesitant to do that. If you see below, there's some really weird mechanism there. Oh, and there's a blaze there. Hello. take that. Also, really great thing. Oh, I have nausea. No. Oh my god, that's the absolute worst possible thing. When you catch on fire in this setup, you can possibly get nausea. Okay, I was gonna say, I have never seen it for that long. But, so I was gonna try to set up the recording, break it apart. We're gonna fight a boss here. Give you kind of a hint with the setup. Let's go ahead and do it. The Star of Light is, in fact, a wither star, not this stardust that keeps popping up. But this is gonna be hard. Hopefully I can do it first try here, first shot. Oh, there's a lot going on. Healing. Yeah, not quite gonna be much commentary going on at the moment, because I do not want to die. I am getting very close to doing so. Oh boy. Did that hit me? I'm not sure. Back to that. Okay, now he's enraged. Fantastic. Where's he at? Come on. Ah. Oh boy. Do I have any more potions? No! Oh, so this is a hard battle. I'm over here. Right. This is a weird place. Okay. Whew. So let's take a moment to collect our thoughts here. That was a difficult fight. I thought I was prepared. Maybe I should have had a hat on then as well. As fun as it is watching me fail over and over again, we are kind of just gonna cheat our way back there then, I suppose. I just wanted to show, you know, kind of a normal run attempt of beating the wither there in survival. But as I kind of only really had one set of armor there, that was my go at it, my one shot. Maybe if I would have made some more potions and not had so much other random stuff in my inventory. I was getting close. It was in like its second phase there. But we're kind of just going to cheat, as I was saying. Oh yeah, so I can open up these dispensers here too. Actually, let's put on some diamond pants, even though I don't really need any armor. Oh, it actually disappeared. Interesting. But let's make our way back there then in creative mode, and I can kind of give a little bit more explanation as to everything else that's going on. So as I was saying, this dungeon here was kind of based off of the Ultra Megalopolis area from the new Pokemon games. And that's probably the music that I'll have in the background then as well. Yeah, sorry buddy. Maybe you were just a little bit too strong. But as I slowly cheat my way into defeating this wither, I just thought it was a really cool concept then to have a dungeon in this end city area and outer islands. I'm afraid I actually kind of broke it then a little bit during my process as well. These tripwires here are utilizing that redstone current activates glowstone from glass feature that I mentioned in the episode with the lighthouse. First episode, second. So the problem with that though is info. I can break things essentially in this dungeon as I have permission inside of here, but other players then, when they're swinging around, you know, they won't actually hit any of these strings. But unfortunately, as I go through and play through it, still have the permissions, and so still can break parts of it if need be. So let's go back into survival mode and collect the Nether Star, and also interesting Trickster's Axe. So because the other mobs then have other items that they drop, it looks like we got a pretty cool axe then by defeating that wither. Let's gather the rest of all my stuff here from this death chest. And yeah, that was pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. And as I wear my unceremonious skull then again, man, I really thought that I would actually beat this. Let's just get the rest of the stuff out. Oh yeah, let's not lose my flying broom. I put a... oh yeah, that's just the down sign. But anyway, continuing on, let's just pretend that I actually beat that guy normally. Oh, hello. That's a... what are those called again? Husks? No, not husks. Stray. One of the interesting things about when you turn a stray invisible then is their outer armor still stays visible. And there's another blaze. But yeah, so each of these buildings, then you'll see some of them the lights are on, whereas others the lights are off. But that is activated by... actually, yeah, I guess I can just kind of go through and show you here while I'm explaining things. But those are activated by a interesting setup that I found and seemingly just broke, unfortunately. Oh no. A very interesting, if I can find where I put them. Usually there'll be a snowman that is inside of this cage here. And so let's just go ahead and put him back. Pumpkin. And so what happens is when the snowman goes forwards, then he steps on this pressure plate, which sends him backwards, but then also activates all of this. I was kind of wondering why there weren't any guests spawning when we got to this part. But so each of these main buildings then has a setup like that, where when you're within 32 blocks of the skeleton, then it goes forward, and essentially it only moves when you're within that range of it. But then it activates, it's essentially like a player detector. So it does that, and then spawns all the mobs up on the tower, and then also activates the lights. But then after 5 minutes, then when the item that it spawns despawns, then all of the lights reset, and it goes back to the dark beams, the dark beacon beams then around it. This one though, maybe I want to fix up a little bit, as it seems that these ghasts are like stuck inside of the building. Oh, that might be a slight oversight. But continuing on, let's advance. Let's get back into survival mode, pretend that all of that was happened normally, and here we are, the secret room. And then this is, I don't quite want to spoil, this is quite a treasure. Because to actually go forward and place a Nether Star in that hopper there, you're definitely going to be getting something of greater value, let's just say, than a single nether star. We got a little light here too to kind of play around with. But yeah, that is the kind of crazy darkness dungeon. I guess I can even fly around then with this magical broom. The way that I had set up these lights going around, you can take a peek inside here, or maybe not, was with minecarts. And then you'll see that they are kind of falling then out the bottom back around there. But yeah, that was this dungeon. Oh, you'll see the invisibility potion set up then as well, kind of. I'm maybe gonna die if I just stick around here. But yes, there's a bunch of skeleton archers then that are invisible, and that was why I was highly suggesting the use of this bow then with the spectral arrows. Otherwise, there's not that much use for spectral arrows, but I think that they're really cool. You know, so obviously I designed an entire dungeon around them. But it's as I was saying, a difficult dungeon. The boss at the end then, of course, being a wither. I think that was all that I quite wanted to cover. I might actually die here again, because I confused the potions of strength with the potions of healing. Yes, that's my excuse. So you'll see below, the actual way that we have that wither spawning, real quick, that was quite the redstone setup. So these dispensers here then dispense out wither skeleton skulls, but to actually get all of the soul sand up there, if I break my way inside of this tower, you'll see this whole setup then with the soul sand and pistons. Because essentially, you know, I was trying to make it so that everything would reset, and the next person to visit it then would, you know, still be able to spawn a wither. And there's not quite a wither spawning spawn egg that I could use normally. So I set up this quite elaborate system then of dispensers and cobblestone generators then to actually continue pushing forwards the soul sand. So that it eventually would make its way up the tower and into that arena. But yeah, if you would like to take on this dungeon and claim its rewards, or maybe just have a way to fight a wither in a controlled environment, this is definitely the place. So check it out, and if you get the time, and then yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. You'll see some of the lights turning off there, where we'll see, I guess, probably my most famous dungeon, the one that I guess I am the most proud of. I mean, I'm really proud of all of these that they came together, even though there's still a couple slight things. I'm gonna fix that one building that had the exposed redstone, but this next one is you're really in for a treat. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then.